Hello, greetings. This is me again, Zahra Jawad, ex-Shia, ex-Muslim, truth seeker. I just want to share what I was reading. I couldn't sleep about the wives of Prophet Muhammad. Okay, so I went to Safiya Bint and from the Muslim sources, what could I find? But I did find in Juwayriya Bint, what's her name? Sorry, excuse me, Harith. I know, but I keep forgetting. So I did a quick study, reading on her, Wikipedia and all. And of course from the Muslim sources themselves, that the Muslim army attacked first. They were unaware of it. And so how did, this Banu Mustaliq tribe, Juwayriya was the daughter of Al-Harith ibn Abi Dirar, the chief of Banu Mustaliq, who was defeated with his tribe in a battle. What a battle it was. Or maybe, which battle was this? Because even the Muslim sources say that they were attacked unaware. So, I mean, the Muslim sources here write, it's in detail. I'm going to give this detail after this Quran ayat. I'm going to go back to the one in Surah Nisa, verse 82, and read the commentary also, and the next ayat also, and then from there read some of parts of the commentary of ayat 83 of Surah Nisa. So ayat 82 again of Surah Nisa, they do not, do they not then meditate on the Quran? And if it were from any other than Allah, they would have found in it many a discrepancy. Commentary now, Shia side. By using reason, objective observation, and independent contemplation, every intelligent person comes to the conclusion that the Quran is a book from Allah, free from all human conjectures and discrepancies. Okay? Now, ayat, my intelligence has been defeated, I feel. Because this ayat, that's very high. Well said by the Ahl-al-Bayti followers, right? Verse 83. And when there comes to them, in the commentary, verse 83, and when there comes to them news of security or fear, they spread it abroad. And if they news of security or fear, they spread it abroad. And if they had referred it to the messenger and to those in authority among them, but the Shia say it's Imam Ali, so that's the commentary. Shia say those in authority among them, Imam Ali. I'll read the commentary. This is what is most important for this verse of mine. Because you see, we bring it, we Shias, right? Like I was a Shia. So, not anymore. Proud to be free from all this. What a prophet he is. What a man. I keep thinking of David Wood, right? Very correct to say that he was a warlord. So continuing with the ayat, and to those in authority among them, those among them who can search out the knowledge of it, would have known it, and were it not for the grace of Allah upon you and His mercy, you would have certainly followed the shaitan, save a few. So here we're told that, of course, it's Imam Ali. Ali has been described as the total faith by the Holy Prophet in the Battle of Khandaq. So those in authority among you, the Ahlul Bayt, of course, bring it back to Imam Ali. And we always went to Imam Ali. Right? So please educate yourselves now. Things are available, knowledge is available at our fingertips, online, free. So when you read about Juwayriya here, Shias also, because you see, second Shaban, third Shaban, Imam Hussein's birth anniversary, Hazrat Abbas's birth anniversary, and this attack on the Bani Mustaliq happened in Shaban. So Juwayriya was the daughter of the chief of this Banu Mustaliq. And the conflict between Muslims and Banu Mustaliq, I'll just read how it started. This is Wikipedia, but you can also read through the Muslim sources, and you can go through. I just checked the video, Ghalib Kamal's video, Gulzar Elia is there, and he talks about it, the Banu Mustaliq and Juwayriya from their sources, Muslim sources, Sunni sources. So since we will apply reason and read through the Sunni sources, the life, what this Prophet Muhammad did here and his Muslims did here with the Banu Mustaliq tribe. 2 months after Muhammad returned from the expedition of Dhu Qarad, he began to hear rumors that the Banu al-Mustaliq were preparing to attack him. So he sent a spy. Remember, you should not spy on each other. But there's a Quran ayat, I think, on that. I thought Muslims were not allowed to spy on each other, except that maybe Muslim leaders are allowed. So I'm uneducated in this and don't know much about that. But there is a Quran ayat saying that you're not allowed to spy on each other. Maybe you can spy on the enemy, okay, but not on each other, perhaps. So I'm not going to go to the Quran ayat right now. Just a point, and then if I remember, I'll correct myself. Burayda ibn al-Hasib al-Aslami to confirm this. The Banu al-Mustaliq also believed that Muhammad was preparing to attack them. So sorry about this funny thing. I'm cracking up. So they in turn sent a spy, reconnoiter, to explore the positions of the Muslims, but he was captured and killed by them. The two armies were stationed at a well called Al-Muraisi near the sea, a short distance from Mecca. They fought with bows and arrows for an hour, and then the Muslims advanced rapidly. They surrounded the Al-Mustaliq and took the entire tribe as prisoners with their families. Shias, एक रात में फातिमा का घर लुट गया. Prophet Muhammad's daughter, in one night, one day, half a day, half a day, Bani Hashim, Fatima's house, all died. in one day, martyred, except for Imam Sajjad and the women folk and the children of Imam Hussein, taken as captives. It's not that we were totally innocent, no blood on our hands, on this Prophet Muhammad's hands, because I think later it's going to come. I just read it once and I'm sharing, because now my feelings, I can communicate, I can express what a little bit, but mostly this, right? So things that are coming to me, like I'm not filtering them through Ahl al-Bayt. The two armies were stationed at a well called Al-Muraisi, near the sea, a short distance from Makkah. They fought with bows and arrows for an hour, and then the Muslims advanced rapidly. They surrounded the Al-Mustaliq and took the entire tribe as prisoners with their families, herds, and flock. The battle ended in full victory for the Muslims. Bravo, Allahu Akbar. 200 families were taken as captives. 200 camels, 5,000 sheep, goats, as well as a huge quantity of household goods, which were captured as booty. The household goods were sold in an auction to the highest bidder. The Mustaliq lost a total of 10 men. Only one Muslim was killed by mistake by a helper. Juwayriya Bint al-Harith, daughter of Banu al-Mustaliq chief, was one of the captives. Marriage to Muhammad. After minimal casualties, the Muslim forces were victorious. Among the many captives was Juwayriya. Maybe you would not want, Shias would not want you to know this about Juwayriya. That's why we concentrate so much on Fatima, the Panjat and Pak, Holy Five. I wonder what they teach you in Qom and Najaf, the centers, learning centers for Shias, right, in Iran and Iraq. But mostly we have been concentrated on the Quran and a little bit here and there from our Ahl al-Bayt and, what moderate Shia Muslims. But never read about Juwayriya much until now. Can you believe this? And so I don't know what we do. Anyways, I haven't checked the Shia sources on this, and I'm not going to check. Maybe not now. Okay, among the many captives was Juwayriya, whose husband Mustafa bin Safwan. Hello? Mustafa was not only Muhammad and Mustafa. You know what Mustafa is in the Quran? Yeah, I think it's in Chosen One. There's Murtada and there's Mustafa. Maybe Murtada is Imam Ali and Mustafa. So it's not like the Prophet Muhammad's title, Al-Mustafa, given to him by God originally. And, like Hazrat Yahya's name, we are told, never did anyone have this name. But Mustafa, maybe the name is the same, but the meaning is different. Among the many captives was Juwayriya, whose husband Mustafa bin Safwan. You know what Mustafa, why the title is given. I'll just pause here. Okay, going very fast, like Surah Jinn, verse 27, chapter 72 of the Quran. We say Imam Ali is Murtada, the chosen. So there's a difference, but here in the Surah Jinn, verse 27, we're told Mani Irtada, which comes close to Murtada. You know the title given to Imam Ali, and here it says he has, except whom he has approved of messengers. Right? This is the thing. Mani irtada. He has approved. Whom he has approved. Okay? So like that, I haven't found Mustafa, something coming close to Mustafa. And that also means the chosen one by Allah, except a messenger whom he has chosen. Okay, so this is Mani Irtada. But where Mustafa comes from, I haven't searched for that. I was just searching here whether it's Mustafa or it comes close to Mustafa or Murtada, and what it means exactly. So then going back to Juwayriya Bint Harith. So the marriage year, sorry, I don't remember from where I left off now. Okay, so whose husband Mustafa bin Safwan. So I'm going on in English, and being a ex-Shia, no one will tell you in this way the way I'm telling you. I mean, and in a broken way, right? So, and maybe a Shia will come up, I don't know. But why would some Shias be hiding, so much concentration on the Muhammad and his household, and not even the al-Mu'mineen, but only Salma, the wife of one wife of the Prophet, after Khadija, right? Salma. And we thought our alims had done a great job. Look, when I was searching for the references and found them all in the Sunni sources against some of the companions who were hypocrites, and the wives, and I found a surah to chapter in the Quran. So all that I was finding, and it was all falling into place, right? The Shia thought, the sources, the things they said against the companions of Prophet Muhammad, hypocrites, and all that was falling into place until I went further deeper. So discrepancies in the Quran ayats and all I found, and I've seen that this prophet is a warlord and such a rapist, forceful, such a powerful and this religion is unhealthy, fear-based. So please look at this. Hope you look at this. Whose husband Mustafa bin Safwan had been killed in the battle. And then you decide. She initially fell among Muhammad's companion, Thabit ibn Qais, ibn al-Shamas. Troubled by this, what is this? She initially fell among Muhammad's companion, Thabit ibn Qais, ibn al-Shamas. troubled by this, like she didn't even have to choose. She just fell. No choice for her from her part. It's like she initially fell among Muhammad's companion. Shias? Oh, well, pious. Thabit was such a pious Muslim. I cannot tell you was, yes. Why in the world does this Maulana Sahib or a religious scholar come and ask us at the nikah time that if our will is involved? Anyhow, another point to be noted. Because we are believer, oh yes, because they were captured and she's a slave now. She's become a slave. Because her father did something and so she's a slave. A slave of this pious Muslim woman, believer. She initially fell among Muhammad's companion, Sahaba, Thabit ibn Qais ibn al-Shamas. Troubled by this, Allah मेरा घर लुट किया फातिमा ज़हरा का एक दिन में पूरा घर लुट किया. Troubled by this, Juwayriya sought a deed of redemption from Muhammad. Muhammad proposed to marry her and as a result freed her from the bondage of Thabit ibn Qais and consequently ameliorated the condition of a captured tribe. So if you are Urdu speaking, you can please go to the Ghalib Kamal and Gulzar Elia talking about this. Very well put, succinctly, in Urdu. This incident was described, and they're like one is an ex-Christian and the other is an ex-Sunni Muslim, not a Shia Muslim, not an ex-Shia. This incident was described in more detail. At the first opportunity after her capture, she went to the Prophet and pleaded her case with him. She told him that she was, if you're wondering, okay, I cut myself here because I read about the Fida, the maid servant of Fatima Zahra. Why I need to check if this from Shia and come racing here to tell you about this is that some say we were not told she was the queen of Abyssinia. Queen of Abyssinia. She came as a slave and Prophet Muhammad, we are told, freed her. What happened to this queen? Black Queen, as she was called. What happened to this Black Queen of Abyssinia? Some very other, one or two sources say this. I check. But Shia side, very lopsided, Ahl-Bayt side. They say Fatima Zahra, she go for the maid servant. Bibi Fiza. Bibi Fiza or Fiza. We are told she come as a slave somehow. She just come in the hand. She come in the eyes of Prophet Muhammad, and Prophet Muhammad free her. But what happened? Shias will tell you. Okay, as maid servant, she say, I don't want to be free. Right? Have you heard the commentary I've read about those who, under some, Surah Nur, verse 33 maybe, those who become slaves of Ahlul Bayt, imams of Ahlul Bayt, they don't want to become free or made the servant. So Fiza also not want to be free, and she was there, some say it is alleged that she was there in Karbala and then in Kufa and Sham with the Ahlul Bayt. She became maid servant of Fatima Zahra. And the Shia account very not, lopsided, not biased. I tell you, biased, right? Not unbiased. Good. Well put, Zahra. And now we come here. Troubled by this, Juwayriya sought a deed of redemption. I read this. And so the Muhammad proposed to marry her. And as a result, freed her from the bondage of Thabit ibn Qais. And consequently, he freed the condition, make it better. What did he do? Of her captured tribe. This incident was described in more detail. At the first opportunity after her capture, she went to the Prophet and pleaded her case with him. She told him that she was the daughter of a chieftain and used to command, and because of her unfortunate circumstance, she found herself in this helpless position. From a throne made of gold, she had fallen into dust. How could she possibly live the life as a slave? As a slave. Shias, you have something to tell me? I will not listen to you anymore. She pleaded with the Prophet to take notice. How could she possibly live the life as a slave? She asked, what your right hands possess? Captive girls or for muta, temporary marriage wives, temporary wives? I'm not to listen to you anymore. But okay, I read your part too about Bibi Fiza. She became a slave for the rest of her life. She pleaded with the Prophet to take notice of the pitiful and desperate condition in which she found herself. Mata mein, we don't do no remembrance for this Al-Mu'mineen. Because more concentration on which Al-Mu'mineen bad. Aisha, Hafsa. Which Al-Mu'mineen best? Mother of Fatima, Khadija, and Salma. Actually, we are told that Salma also took care of Fatima Zahra. As I read the Sunni sources, I don't know, I get mixed up now. Sorry, I cannot tell you. But from Shia sources, I never heard that Salma took care of Fatima Zahra. Fatima Zahra took care of herself. Angels coming, and she married Imam Ali at a very young age. The Prophet was moved by her sorrowful plea. Look at that. And if you're asking me, well, he was moved, Sarah, by her sorrow. He was moved, literally moved, by her sorrowful plea. Okay, you say this? Literally moved, truly moved by her. It doesn't say here truly, but the Prophet was moved by her sorrowful plea. He put the women in this position, and then you say that, well, now he was moved. He put Zainab bin Josh in that position where against her will, get married. And then again he was moved by Zainab's misery. Divorcee, as a divorcee. When Zainab bin Josh, proud widow Quraysh, why would she be miserable? She could be a proud Muslim widow, but no. She in misery, we are told, according to Shia accounts. Right? She happy. She say, I'm proud Quraysh widow. What you going to do to me? You say my pride is like shaitan? No, dignified. Not that satanic pride, arrogance. Prophet Muhammad break her into pieces. And we said, no, he get moved by her misery. And he married Zainab bin Josh after the divorce with his adopted son. Marriage not working also. I can go in detail about it. The Prophet Muhammad tried so hard. His blessings, his counseling not work. His counseling doesn't work, Shias. His blessings didn't work, Shias. But they still come to Prophet Muhammad for judgment. All of you go there. What are you trying to hide, Shias? The Prophet, I'm going to expose it. And I know some Shias very bad. Child molesters, pedophile, things like that. A rumor monger. God knows which come and kill me now. You know, we don't know. The Prophet was moved by her sorrowful plea. He kill, take all her money, her father's chief, her tribe's money, flocks he take. What else he take? He put this thing on, my goodness, you know? What do you call that? Auction. Booty, household goods on auction. Oh my goodness. Shias, you're going to go to Haider Qarar's Matam. Relight my fire. How could she possibly live a life as a slave? Sorry, I read before. And what I don't read now that I have to continue. Household, if she paid her. The Prophet was moved by her sorrowful plea and asked her if she would like to live as a free woman. I'm not stopping. Don't stop me. Any Shia tried to stop me. You feel very, very sorrowful for Hussein and Fatima and their household. 72 people. From Bani Hashim, how many? Tribe in Karbala. Asked her if she would like to live as a free woman and be part of his household. What a woman, really. She gave herself to Prophet Muhammad to at least ameliorate, elevate, to bring the condition of her tribe people, because she the chief's daughter. You know, she Had to. She had no choice. Otherwise, what a choice. She go back and fall in the hands of Tabit. Prophet Muhammad's companion. As a slave, she lived her entire life. Excuse me, my stomach growling. Ah. But no, you want to hear from Fatima Zahra. You want to hear from the Ahl Bayt. And you say you do great full research. This Prophet so moved, helping widows, we are told, and captives. Not captives, no. We were not told that these widows became captives. Please, Shia children, start reading. Now you get the shock, God forbid, at the age of 50, mid-age crisis happening. At the same time, you are weaker. In your youth, get out of this religion before it is too late. And you're too weak to take this. And you're too shocked. Okay. Continuing. Be part of his household if he paid her ransom. She had never in her dreams expected this offer. Ooh. Moved deeply by this unexpected elevation in her status, she exclaimed she would be more than happy to accept. Later coming how beautiful she was, that even Aisha from Sunni sources, but this general, I think, do Shias accept this or not? Maybe Shias accept this. Prophet was moved by her sorrowful plea. Oh, I did not finish that captives. We were not told that these women were made captives, slaves. We were told temporary marriage allowed. What your right hands possess. What captive are you talking about? What captive? What a slave girl captives you talking about? Huh? Only widow Prophet Muhammad marry because their husband is true prophet. What a Juwayriya, not good, not as good as Salma, not as good as Khadija. No. But okay, no one forget her. No Shia remember her. Forget her. What happened in this? The Prophet was moved, okay? Here, she was moved also deeply by this unexpected elevation in her status. Unexpected. She exclaimed she would be more than happy to accept. I crying or laughing? I happy? Sometime later, her father and all the men of her tribe who had been freed also accepted Islam as their religion. This is the way he makes you accept his religion. Her father alive in this. Consequently, she was married to Muhammad, the Islamic prophet, when he was 58 years old, and another coming very, very young girl, and she was 20, thus placing the marriage in 627 to 628. Her qualities. Juwayriya was described as being very beautiful and refined. Where in darkness, if Bibi Fatima Zahra turned to Abu Bakr for Fadak and say that, oh, Abu Quafa, what is title? Or bin Quafa. Anyhow, you in darkness, my father bring you out. You know what Juwayriya in? She was very beautiful. She was brought up in the lap of luxury and had all the refinements and graces, not God-given, not Allah-given graces, but graces of a princess. Intelligent, this is before she was married to Prophet Muhammad. Intelligent and wise. She mastered language and literary style, not the Quran. Before reading Quran, this was an accomplishment much prized by the contemporary Arabs. All who saw Juwayriya were stunned by her exceptional beauty not given by Allah. But we are told Fatima Zahra, greatest, no one see her face, it is shining like light, so bright, like the moon. Oh, sorry, the sun. Exceptional beauty. All who saw Juwayriya were stunned by her exceptional beauty, brought up as she had been in one of the foremost families of the time. Foremost families of the time. Brought up. She was not only beautiful but graceful. Not by Allah given, huh? Not by Muslim Allah. Maybe Muslim Allah know everything, so she coming in the hands of Prophet Muhammad, and then he claiming, that's why you come in my hands. Oh my God. In memory of Juwayriya. Excuse me, huh? She was brought up as she had been in one of the foremost families of the time. She was not only beautiful, but graceful, elegant, and eloquent. Speak of eloquent, only Imam Ali is eloquent. What are you saying here? Who's saying here this? Ghadanfar, page 108, citation. When Muhammad's wife Aisha first saw her, it is said she exclaimed that Juwayriya was as beautiful as a fairy. The reference is given, thank you Wikipedia. Now we go to the Bani Mustaliq. I go there to find out more about Bani Mustaliq. The Bani Mustaliq is an Arab tribe. We don't know, they're not the Jews, or I don't know what their religion was. The tribe is a subclan of the Banu Khuza'ah, descended from Azdi Qahtani. They occupied the territory of Qadid on the Red Sea shore between Jeddah and Rabi'ah. History. The Banu al-Mustaliq allied, now this again Wikipedia, but from sources, Muslim sources, historic sources. The Banu al-Mustaliq, allied to the Quraysh of Makkah, were the subject to an attack by Muslims in the month of Shaban. The Banu Mustaliq, allied to the Quraysh of Makkah, were the subject to an attack by Muslims in the month of Shaban. So 6 to, I'm not giving those dates. According to Leon Saitani, or Saetani, however you may pronounce his last name, the Muslim force met the Banu Mustaliq in battle at a watering place called Al-Muraisi and defeated them soundly, taking the Mustaliq chief Al-Harith and others captive. Among the captives taken by the Muslims was Al-Harith's daughter Juwayriya. She initially fell among the booty. Of Muhammad's companion, Thabit ibn Qais. I've already. So troubled by this, Juwayriya sought redemption. The campaign also involved a conflict between the Muhajirin and Ansar, and what happened here? Invasion of Bani Mustaliq took place in December 8th Shaban. The Islamic calendar. We celebrate and all this. Imam Ali, Shaban, all full of celebration. Even Imam Mahdi. For Imam Mahdi, we celebrate. 200 families were taken as captives, 200 camels, and 5,000 sheep and goats, as well as a huge quantity of household goods were taken as booty. The household goods were sold in an auction. I've read this, but where I read Muslims attack. Oh, I read in. Oh, did I leave this out? No. I read in Muslim reference, right? So I go to a reference. Oh my goodness. Okay, I cannot yet find out biography of noble prophet Rasulullah and calendar. Can you tell me? Muslim attacked them by Muslim. So if I go to Qadid, territory of Qadid, Banu Mustaliq, where I go to Banu Khuza'ah. So, okay, here it is say about Banu Khuza'ah, the lineage. During Muhammad's era, they participated in the Battle of the Trench. The Banu Nadir became rousing the nomads of Najd. The Nadir enlisted Banu Ghatafan. But here, lineage of Banu Khuza'ah. Most traditionalists trace the origins of the tribe to Amr ibn Luhay al-Khuzai and agree that with the other branch of us left Yaman moved north. Something about them, were it a first group, second group, that statement Muhammad, I saw Amr, the father, he was dragging his intestines through hellfire. Third hadith. God, so what they do, history. No, rule of the Banu Khuza'ah after Hagar of the Bible, the wife of Abraham, and their son Ishmael, had they settled in Makkah, the tribe of Juram. Okay, this coming, happened to pass through there and agreed with Hagar that they should remain there as a new spring of fresh water had emerged at that location. They settled in Makkah and in the area around. So it was Ishmael, the tribe of, become the youth and married the woman, tribe of Jurham. Ismail was the custodian of this Kaaba, sacred house, and after he died, he made his son Nabit his successor. And then the whole genealogy, it comes, they say, coming down, called Asaf and Khuza'ah. Descendants of Ishmael join with Khuza'ah in fighting Joram, and they expel them from Makkah. Little bit I read, and if you're confused, you can open Wikipedia. After Jurhamites had fled, Khuza'ah became custodians of the sacred house, passing the duty. So remember, who is actually from the Ishmael, descendants of Ishmael? Nabit, and to his uncles from Jurham. Jurhami assumed the burden of the affairs of the sacred house. Jurham's custodianship of the sanctuary lasted a period of time. Until what happened? Continuing the sanctity of the sacred house at peril. Where is this coming from? Ibn Hisham al-Sirat al-Nabawiyah, Muslim historians. We will read this. Their aggression against the sanctity of the sanctuary was the catalyst that made the Banu Bakr bin Abdul Manaf bin Kinana, descendants of Ishmael, join with the Khuza'ah in fighting Jurham, and they expelled them from Makkah. After the Jurhamites had fled, Khuza'ah became custodians of the sacred house, passing the duty on from father to son for a long time. The first one of Khuza'ah, I skip some, governed the sacred house for Amr bin Rabi'a, Luhay, who traveled to Syria, Palestine, al-Sham to seek a cure for a disease he was suffering from. He found the people there worshipping idols, and he liked this religion, so he brought back an idol called Hubal back to Makkah and called on the people to worship it. Hubal had the figure of an old man with a long beard and was made of carnelian. Its right hand had been cut off by the Quraysh, would later provide it with a hand made of gold. Amr ibn Rabi'a then was the first to change the religion of the Arabs. Muslims, historians consider that the people of Makkah were following the monotheistic religion of Abraham and Ismail up to this point. See Hanif. When polytheism was introduced, Amr ibn Luhay became very famous about the other Arab tribes because he fed all the pilgrims to the sacred house and distributed Yemeni cloaks to them. Many of the tribes started, so this was Ishmael's house, and then the idol worshippers came in, and it became idol worshippers' house. One day in great mass accompanied and all this going on. Passing control of Makkah to Quraysh. Okay, now this tribe, the genealogy, connection with the genealogy of Muhammad. The genealogy of Muhammad is connected to that of Khuza'ah in two ways. Firstly, by way of his third great-grandfather, Abd Manaf bin Qusay, and also through his marriage to the mother of the believers, Juwayriya. Huh? Oh, his daughter of Harith al-Khuzai. First, the genealogy of Muhammad is connected to that of Khuza'ah in two ways. Firstly, by way of his third great-grandfather, Abd Manaf bin Qusay, and also through his marriage to the mother of the believers, Juwayriya. Bring him also to this Juwayriya. Maybe Ishmael gone, like the house of Kaaba, the real Muhammad gone. No, the real one connected with Abraham gone. At the time of truce of Hudaybiyah, one of the conditions set down was whoever wishes to enter into an agreement with Muhammad and into his covenant, then he should enter it. And whoever wishes to enter into an agreement with the Quraysh, so I need to get my mind this, to understand all this. And into their covenant, then he should enter it. Maybe the true Al-Mustafa also, Juwayriya's husband, gone. Okay, so now then he should enter it, and continuing. And Khuza'ah leaped up with enthusiasm, saying, "We are in agreement with Muhammad and in his covenant." While the Banu al-Zil bin Bakr jumped up, saying, "We are in agreement with the Quraysh and in their covenant." Quraysh break the truths, we are told. Khuza'ah seeks the aid of Muhammad. Amr bin Salim al-Khuzai set out with 40 Muhammad assists Khuza'ah and conquers Makkah. So this all going on. Muhammad coordinated a large coalition force, including Muslims and some of the Bedouin tribes, and they went to Makkah and conquered it. This was towards the end of January 8 Hijrah, after Hijrah. Modern day, and we don't need that. So Muhammad take all this from the Banu Mustaliq, and I stretch myself and I come here, the tribe of Jurham. Happen to pass through there. Okay, this all very, very good. Yeah, for the Muslims, you can see for Shias that your Prophet Muhammad come from, and then after this, the house of Kaaba, and he from Ishmael's. Please read this. And no, I think the Shias also would read this and would go back to the Ahl al-Bayt side. So maybe Allama Majlisi also write this in his Hayatul Qulub. Very, very good. So I really have to read this whole thing. Yeah? But you can go through your Shia, but I'm not coming here, sorry. Because some parts missing about Bibi Fizatu, maidservant of Fatima Zahra, and how he fight and defeat this Banu Mustaliq. Okay, so what I have to do here is I have to read again and again the rule of Banu Khuza'ah over Makkah. Hajar has come in. This is first time I'm reading about this, and that the Prophet Muhammad was with this a descendant. But where these idol worshippers come in, I'll just read until where I understand and would like to do more research on this, and then I will come back talking about this. So I think here what happens is the rule of Banu Khuza'ah over Makkah. Wikipedia. After Hagar of the Bible, the wife of Abraham, and their son Ishmael had settled in Makkah. We are told. God knows where. There's another which says citation needed. So I'll have to do more research on this. The tribe of Jurhum happened to pass through there and agreed with Hajar that they should remain there, as a new spring of fresh water had emerged at that location. Citation needed. No citation. They settled in Makkah and in the area around. Once Ismail had become a youth, he married a woman of the tribe of Jurhum. Ismail was the custodian of the sacred house Kaaba, and after he died, he made his son Nabit his successor, and then after Nabit, the job was given to his uncles from Jurhum, and with them were the descendants of Ismail. Then Mudada ibn Amr al-Jurhami assumed the burden of the affairs of the sacred house. Citation is given 33, but I'm not going there. Jurham's custodianship of the sanctuary lasted for a period of time, but they then started to become weaker in faith, putting the continuing sanctity of the sacred house at peril. They considered all the funds collected at the sanctuary to be their property and started to perform sinful acts within its precincts. It came to the point where a man and a woman called Asaf and Naila performed coitus in the sacred house, and according to the Muslim sources, Allah turned them into two stones to punish them for this sacrilegious act. Citation is given, let me see, Ibn Hisham, Al-Sirat al-Nabawiyah. So this is from Ibn Hisham. After the Jurhumites had fled, Khuza'ah became custodians of the sacred house, passing the duty on from father to son for a long time, 500 years it is said. The first one of Khuza'ah to govern the sacred house was Amr bin Rabi'a Luhay, who traveled to Syria, Palestine, Al-Sham to seek a cure for a disease he was suffering from. So by now they're all descendants of Ishmael, right? He found the people there worshipping idols, and he liked this religion. So back they go to idol worshipping, we are told. So he brought back an idol called Hubal back to Makkah and called on the people to worship it. Hubal had the figure of an old man with a long beard and was made of carnelian. Its right hand had been cut off, but the Quraysh would later provide it with a hand made of gold. Amr ibn Rabi'a then was the first to change the religion of the Arabs. Now these are all from the descendants of Ishmael. Muslim, according to the Muslim historians, Muslims historians consider that the people of Makkah were following the monotheistic religion of Ibrahim and Ismail up to this point. See Hanif. When polytheism was introduced, Amr ibn Luhay became very famous. So now it goes on to that, and then it comes to saying that Prophet Muhammad, this Kaaba was Ismail's and Hajar and Abraham's. So it was. And then this, whatever took place by the descendants of Ishmael, thus one of the descendants of Ishmael went and joined like the religion of the idol worshippers, and he brought this Hubal to this place, and thus the idol worshipping started, not because the idol worshippers conquered this place. Okay, so this much we know. Now the rest I will do more research, and yet I'm not from the Abrahamic religion either. So, and this all comes from the Muslim historians, rule of the Banu Khuza'ah over Makkah. And then what Muhammad does, and he marries Juwayriya and attacks. The Khuza'ah remained, just if I could share, the Khuza'ah remained allies of the Quraysh, and in 570, the year of the elephant, took part in the battle against Abraha. So we are told battles are happening. So now the connection with the genealogy of Muhammad, the genealogy of Muhammad is connected to that of Khuza'ah in two ways. Firstly, by the way of his third great-grandfather, Abd Manaf bin Qusay, and also through his marriage to the mother of the believers, Juwayriya, daughter of Harith al-Khuzai. So this, they were connected with, they were Ishmael's descendants, right? All of them were Ismail's descendants. I don't see any idol worshippers coming. Maybe I have to do more reading on this. It's a very long one. Coming and attacking or anything. It was just from one of the Ishmael's descendants who went for his cure for his disease and found this idol Hubal and took it and brought it to Ismail and Ibrahim's sacred house here in Makkah. Okay, now I will take a rest, read more, do more research, contemplate, and see what else I can find please leave this religion, whether Abrahamic or what. I tell you, I'm not coming in this religion because it is very. Look at the way he married Juwayriya, and I don't know, I can't trust discrepancies in the Quran happening, coming. So I don't know how to really, these kind of history coming from the Muslim side, Muslim historians, honestly telling you that I really, it's not my cup of tea anymore. All these fighting happening, but also if like, yes, let us say that this is the Muslim historians are right, and this is the house, this is the descendants of Ishmael, and Ishmael and Abraham built this Kaaba here, right? Well, they going wrong themselves and bringing gods. They're having sexual intercourse themselves. Some of the, you can't trust the genealogy of Ishmael. They're turning against the father Abraham. And then Muhammad come and want to restore it, and how he restore this monotheistic religion, all fighting, killing, because they also fighting, they also killing. All this Ishmael's genealogy. And the more that even Juwayriya, being from Ismail's genealogy, okay, let me see, Khuza'ah, because Prophet Muhammad's, who is this? This all Prophet Abraham's descendants, Ishmael's descendants. Okay? Oh God. So blaming the idol worshippers that they came in. Okay, thank you. With all the, please overlook my mistakes, and then if anything, I will come to correct myself. But hopefully, may I never come to this religion ever, because I don't see any point in coming here in this religion. No good reason to come here. Thank you very much.